Hello, dreamers, and welcome back to Dream Queen by Perla. As always, guys, thank you for your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, I encourage you to do so. It helps with growing the channel, getting the video out there for more people, as well as keeping me accountable. For personal readings, all that information can be found down below in the description. So, Leo, this week there is I keep on seeing you back and forth with someone. There's a connection that you have with someone. It does not necessarily have to be in love, but there is like this trying to mend something, or trying to have a conversation, or trying to see something from someone else's perspective. I feel that both of you are within this energy, so there is this wanting to fix something, or wanting to work on communication when it comes to this relationship. And again, this can be a relationship with a sibling, with a parent, with another family member, a friend, or a lover. It really doesn't specify. These are just general readings, but there is a mending of something. For others of you, this relationship is that relationship with yourself that is being mended. It is that space where you may have, you're finally realizing how much energy and how much time and how much effort you put into other people, but when it comes to yourself, you weren't giving yourself that, and you're trying your best, because it is challenging for whatever the reason, Leo. You're trying your best to show up for yourself, or to mend that relationship with yourself, where you feel like yourself again, where you're not defined, right, by the outer looks of stuff, right? The outside, right? This, right? You're defined by who you are. And it's almost kind of like you lost sight of who you are, because you were so focused on either trying to help other people, or you were giving so much of your energy to others, so much of your time to others, and when it came time to give your energy to yourself, or time to yourself, you were so depleted. So there is a huge shift happening, especially now that we're getting closer to the end of the year. It's like you don't want to end the year that way. You want to end the year in a good note, because that's how you want to start the next year. At least that is the dialogue that I'm picking up. There is a sense of like, there is an apology. So it is very beautiful if this is something, I mean, it's beautiful regardless of how it's happening, but if this is something that is happening just within yourself, me, myself, and I, this is beautiful, because it's almost kind of like you're asking yourself for forgiveness for not being there for yourself. You're asking yourself for forgiveness for the times that you hurt yourself with things that you said, or things that you did, right, that didn't feel right, right. And it's almost kind of like you're having this internal dialogue where you are forgiving yourself, and you're like, you know what, I need to release this guilt. We're gonna release it, right? And when, because you see, this is one of the things that tends to happen a lot, right? We get into a space, right, when we start, a lot of people, when they start their journey, where they learn to forgive other people, but then they kind of get stuck, and they're like, okay, why am I not progressing? Why am I stuck in this space? And it's like, okay, you healed all of these aspects of something, but you haven't addressed the biggest issue, or you haven't addressed the most important thing, and it's yourself. How are you viewing yourself when it comes to certain situations? Because until you don't learn to forgive yourself and accept yourself as you are, you're always going to find that you're always, it's almost kind of like you're meeting more walls or more challenges than you should. And that is something that is happening for you guys this week, where you're having this internal dialogue that is actually like very beautiful, because it's very healing, and it's allowing you to release any guilt or any anger, any frustration that you have within yourself about yourself, based on past behaviors that you may have engaged in, right? Or past dialogue that you were having, and that now it's becoming clear to you that part of yourself you have to forgive, because at that moment in time, maybe you didn't know better, right? At that moment in time, it was something that you had to experience in order to propel you or to move you forward. And that's kind of like what it is. Something from your past keeps coming up, something that you don't want to deal with, something you don't want to talk about. And again, it's almost kind of like, are you putting part of the blame on yourself when it comes to that situation? Because if you are, it's like that is the aspect, or that's the part of it that is missing. Like if something happened to you when you were a child, if something happened to you when you were a teenager, regardless of the age, is almost kind of like you were still in the learning stages, or you didn't know any better. So stop holding yourself accountable at that age for what it is that you know at this moment in time. So let's go ahead and let's pull out a love card. We're going to pull out a love oracle card to see what is in your energy for love this week. We have the camera. And the camera talks about reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past, and make memories. So some of you may have recently gone through a breakup, or are things are a little shaky when it comes to relationships, and you just have to learn from what it is that that relationship taught you. Now, it is easier said than done, because a lot of the times we try to replay certain things, and when we replay certain things, we either put all the blame on the other person, or we put all the blame on ourselves, and not see the bigger picture. We don't see the how things exactly unfold. So that is something to think about, and when you're reminiscing, or you're looking, or you're trying to see what you were supposed to learn from that relationship, or what you're supposed to be learning in this moment in time, then look at it from that perspective. Kind of like take yourself out of the situation, and almost like either write it down as if somebody was telling you, and then see it from that point of view. So let's go ahead and let's pull out 3 tarot. We have the Page of Wands, we have the King of Pentacles, and then we have the King of Cups. Some of you are limiting yourself, or stopping yourself from getting clarity, or from pursuing your passion and your dream, because you're afraid of this energy. This Page of Wands energy is like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to rehash that. Whether this is what happened to you in the past that you have, it keeps on resurfacing, or this is that energy of like, if I ask myself for forgiveness, will I be able to forgive myself? Like some of you are doubting whether you're able to forgive yourself or not. So some of you are trying to avoid it, but it's like there is no way around it in order to get to where it is that you're trying to get to. So let's pull out an oracle card to close off your reading. The Angel Raspar. Raspar? Is that how you say it? You guys know English is not my first language, right? Number 27. Guidance is there for you. Again, it's almost kind of like it may be difficult to walk down the path, or that... Why am I saying line? It's almost like a line. You know, like when you go to the circus and they're balancing on that little string thingy. It's almost kind of like that. That's the energy that it feels like. As you're trying to get to like the other side, you're trying to get the clarity or whatever it is. It feels like any sudden movement and you can fall. And it may feel like that because it is intense, and it may feel like that because this is something that, again, has been weighing you down for far too long, and it needs to be released. Well, guys, that is all I have for you for this week. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Bye-bye.